Hey guys, J77 doing a special flashback review as part of Black History Month. And this one is the movie I am just dying to talk about because it is one of the first films, one of the rare films that the star was actually, the person who is based upon is actually the star of the film. I'm talking about the Jackie Robinson story. Jackie Robinson story is a very, very good movie. I think they filmed it after between the second season, and it pretty much explains his teams that he played, his troubles, and his rise to the MVP stardom. It really was well done. And Jackie Robinson, surprisingly, although you can tell he's not an actor, did a good job representing himself, and I think that was even more cool that they actually gave him that opportunity to star in his own film, which make the film more realistic because it is him who's telling his own story. The film pretty much starts out as he was a football player, which I'm going to tell you, I did not even know. When I just saw this film, it forced me to do more research. I didn't know he was a football player. I think he was in I think he was in Los Angeles University, I believe, and he was playing good football. And they roughed him up, I suspected. But the teams, the players have tremendous respect for him. And he was pretty much a multi-athlete. He was trying to get into a team, a major college before, and they just turned him down, especially professional. He ends up playing in the Negro League, which was discovered by one of Branch Ricky's agents, who told him that the Dodgers wanted to recruit him, and then they wanted to become part of the Dodgers. Now, originally, he didn't believe them because from what the film was gathering, there was people who was doing that before, and it turned out to be a big joke. It was like a big dud, but this guy was serious. And one of the scenes, he came to the place where Jackie Robinson was staying and saying, "Oh, what happened? I was waiting for you on the train. Why you didn't come in?" That's when, how come you didn't come and meet me? And that's when Jackie Robinson realized that, hey, he's really from the Dodgers. So he met Mr. Ricky in his office, and he basically explained to him why he wanted a recruiter. He wanted talent. He wanted guys who will be able to play the game with respect, and he chose Jackie Robinson. But he also gave him some stipulations, which I was kind of curious as to how that was going to play out, because he said that he didn't want him to fight back. He wanted him to use, hit home runs, base hits, and butts, and no more. And this was a very, very tough task because, according to some of the documentaries I read, Jackie Robinson was not treated kindly in baseball, at least for the first few years. If he were to slide, he got spit on by the opposite players. They tried to spike him, caused great injuries. I mean, they did some very horrible things to him. Even the fans at one time was like basically booing the hell out of him. There was documentaries saying he had to wear bulletproof vests in certain events. Some of the fans were giving him death threats. It was just a tough situation for him. And yet, despite all that, he was able to keep his word, at least until he finally established himself and basically just played baseball, just basically shot out. One of the scenes when he finally joined the minor league team in Montreal, was the manager of Montreal, because they asked him the question, if can you accept a black ball player, a colored ball player to his team. He never really answered that question. He just said, "Let me see if I will." And he's sitting with Mr. Ricky, watching Jackie Robinson do his thing. He's very impressive. The owner of the Dodgers is very impressed with him. And then he did something, and he said, "I never seen a human being do that before." And then the manager said something to him that really caught my attention. It really woke me up of just how much African Americans was treated back then. He said, and I quote, "Mr. Ricky, you don't really think that's a human being, do you?" And it really caught my attention. I said, well, it's like at first saying, "What do you think he was?" But then I had to remind myself, were these people really look at us that way, that we wasn't humans? it really shook me, and it really bothered me at one point because I'm like, wow, I really didn't thought about that one time. I really didn't thought that they really didn't look at us as human beings until I saw that film. It really struck me. Um, he managed to win over his teammates. He managed to win over the even the manager. The manager, had found some great respect for him after that. It was amazing how that that came up because obviously he was helping him win. Obviously he was a ball player that came before him, and he won the respect of every player, especially in the scene where his wife, Mrs. Robertson, who really wasn't comfortable being around the area because she was afraid for her life. She was even afraid for her husband's life, and that came into light when a bunch of fans threatened Jackie Robinson. They was waiting for him outside. They bumped into him. Jackie was trying to be calm and ignore him, but they basically was trying to pick a fight with him. Trying to tell him he better not show up in that game, better not show up in that in the league, or something's bad gonna happen. But his teammates saw what was going on, and they basically came to his aid and said he played a good game. So the respect was already established. Um, when he Even when he was going to the Dodgers, the Dodgers made protests. They actually signed a petition to not have him on the game, and the owner it made the owner mad. He basically said, I respect your petition, but I will fight to the bone, pretty much saying that will deny anyone a chance to play this game. And so pretty it. Now, according to some of the stuff I said, he actually did make some trades. He actually have a clean house in some areas to order to make Jackie Robinson stay with the Dodgers more comfortable. And in this movie, they didn't really show that much. Most of the players they showed pretty much stayed. So I'm kind of curious on how much they stood away from that, how much consistency from the actual facts of the movie that they actually put on the actual Dodgers relationship, because they didn't really push that much with the Dodgers, his stay with the Dodgers. They showed that there were people who didn't want him there. They had their own reasons why, that's all pretty much it. But in the end, it pretty much it pretty much paid out. Basically, I think they did it because of time consuming. This was only a 76-minute film, so I guess that's one of the reasons why they didn't do it. I think they wanted to make it as short as possible and not let it drag on. Which the pacing was pretty good. I was actually kind of mad it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, but whatever. That's just their decision. In the end, it showed how he was slumping, and that's largely because he had to change position. I think originally he was second base, and he wanted to play first base, and he wasn't even used to playing first base. Or, I'm pretty sure he played a different position. I could be wrong with the second base, but I think he was second base, and they got him to play. They got him to play first base, and that was the only reason how he was going to get a team. So he was basically learning a new position, and it pretty much affected him a little bit because he wasn't hitting and he wasn't doing good on first base. It wasn't until a fellow teammate helped him and got him to get used to playing first base, and he was on a tear lately. And basically, he had the rookie of the year. I think he won MVP, but he definitely was one of the rookies of the year, and he was definitely a player to to be reckoned with. Even people who hated him, like one of the guys who was causing trouble, actually started rooting for him because he was that good. He realized that he was a good player, and that's something that that tells a lot, that people can change. It just takes time for them to change. The film pretty much ended with him winning the pennant for the first time in a while. He met the president, and that's how the film pretty much ended with his speech. This is a great movie. I really did love this movie. And like I said, the only bad thing, it's not even a bad thing, because let's be honest, Jackie Robinson's not an actor. He's a ball player. But for what it's worth, I think he represented himself quite nicely. This was a great film. A film that I believe should be seen for those who are Dodger fans of old and new, and especially just some sports fans, because this is a very good piece. Like I said, there was a lot of stuff I did not know about the guy. I didn't know he played football. I honestly didn't. I just thought I knew that he had military discipline, but I didn't know he played football. I didn't know that he was trying for other avenues of sports. Uh, so it really brought up something I didn't know about the guy. I didn't know he went through this much trouble, um, both off and on the field. So it really did a excellent job of showing that. They showed enough. Like I said, I wish they would have gone further, but they only touch on his beginnings, his struggles in the minor league ball, all the way to pretty much his first season with the Dodgers. So they didn't really touch on anything else than that. And this was pretty much after the first season anyway, so they wasn't going to dive too much into that territory. So you basically what you got from this film is basically what you're gonna get. So I actually enjoyed, for what it's worth, it definitely did its job well. This film was nominated for a Golden Globe, I believe. I'm not too sure it was nominated for any Academy Award, but it was definitely nominated for the Golden Award. It was definitely one of the critically acclaimed films, and it's deservedly so. It still holds up great today. You can still get this movie, by the way, on DVD. It's definitely, I definitely would advise you to check it out at least one time, especially if you want to know about African athletes in in sports. This is definitely one of those films. This film I will give 3.5 stars. The 4 stars I can't really give, for the simple fact is that, like I said, and it's not because of the acting. There was it just was short. It was very short, and they really didn't focus on dialogue. I was a little surprised. They really didn't focus on dialogue because it was so fast paced. The acting just came out a little wobbly. I wouldn't say terrible, but it's definitely, you can see it. Yeah, they was trying to rush this film, because I said the pacing was right there. It was only 70-something minutes, and the pacing was fast, a little too fast. Because if you watch this film, you pretty much sitting there saying, "What? That's it? This film is only an hour? That's how fast." And it's still in the 70s, but it's definitely, in terms of the acting, the dialogue wise, it's definitely spotty at best. But that's pretty much it. Everything else is fine. The story that they presented was faithful, and I actually can respect it for that. It's not that big of a deal. You guys may like it more on the dialogue than I would, but that was the only problem I really truly had about it. But it's doesn't win. It's still a great film. I still hope you guys recommend it, and check it out yourself. I know HBO, I think, played it a couple of times. I know the AMC had played it a couple of times. You probably will see it in Turner Classic Movies. I'll be shocked and stunned if it's not there. So, and it's definitely on an affordable DVD, so you can definitely find it. It's definitely worth checking out at least one time. But that's just my opinion. If you've seen this film, if you like it, didn't like it, what scenes did you like, what scenes you didn't like, please let me know. I like to know your opinion on the matter. But until then, this is J77 saying, take care.